What up, Dragon Ballers? This is going to be my episode review for Dragon Ball Daima episode number 9, Thieves. In this episode, thieving happens. We meet a new villain. A new villain emerges, and we finally get the two groups to join up, and then things happen. And I'm going to say, going into this episode, I was feeling pretty good after the amazing sequences from the Tamagami fight. This one kind of let me down in certain respects. There's one thing that kind of just nagged at me throughout the episode. Certain story points that, for the sake of the story, had to happen, yet still kind of irritated me. I'm not feeling too good about this one, but I'm sure you guys will have different opinions, so let me know what you guys think. If you guys have been enjoying all of the Daima content on the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be covering every single episode from the beginning of the series until the end. I've already covered 8, so check out those videos all in a playlist. Without further ado, let's jump in with episode number 9. So as the episode begins, we see the crew flying on the Gendarmerie plane, and they decide to take a break and relax as they have been flying for a while. Pansy places a bear hat on Goku as a means to keep him hidden wherever they land and decide to take a break. They land in this dark and sketchy floating piece of land, and if we learned anything from, was it episode 2, episode 3? Something's gonna happen. Based on the title of the episode, you can probably imagine. Glorio asks Goku to keep the power pole inside the plane as to not draw suspicion, and to also place the Dragon Ball inside a bag. And the bag, it's such a tight fit that it's basically just the Dragon Ball, but with a green cover over it. Classic, classic stupid disguise trope. Just like in the first town that they went to, everyone inside the hotel is staring suspiciously at them as they enter the hotel and approach the front desk. As Pansy and Shin are discussing Glorio and his ability to fund a large room for the night, Goku takes off the hat because it's itchy. I know that this has to happen for the sake of the story. I don't know why, but this really just irritated me. It really just got under my skin. It had been 3 minutes. The dude put on a hat, and then it got itchy, so he takes it off. Clearly not understanding the scope of the situation. After he takes it off, some of the people who were eyeing them as they were walking in clock the spiky-haired kid who beat the Tamagami. Pansy yells at him and forces him to put the hat back on, but that was enough time for those people to figure out who he was. They very easily deduce that the ball-shaped bag that they're holding is the Demon Dragon Ball. Oh my god, how did they figure that out? After they settle into their room, Pansy is the first to clean up and then instructs Goku to take a bath. He does so and returns in some of Pansy's spare clothes, which I thought was a nice touch. Seeing Goku in a different outfit, it was kind of charming. As the crew begins to eat some of the room service food, a fight ensues outside in the main lobby. Goku and the others come out of the room to see what's happening, and the Bergamo dude signals his partner to break into the room through the window and steal the ball, which is so conveniently placed by the window. Another thing that kind of annoyed me. If you're trying to protect precious cargo, do you really want to be placing it in an area in the room that can be easily accessed from both inside and outside? That also bothered me. But again, I get it. It's for the sake of the story. It's for the sake of conflict. But these little things were just chipping away at my soul. Pansy thankfully planned ahead and placed a tracker on the ball. We then switch to the Bergamo dude, who reverts back to his base form, which is one of the guys who was first watching Goku as he entered the hotel. His bird friend flies up to him with the ball in hand, and as the two start relishing in their success, Goku stands next to them and asks for the ball back. The two fly off and begin playing keep away from Goku, and it was quite successful initially. Goku was unable to retrieve the ball even after trying to fight the bird dude. The bird dude was actually dodging everything, which to me, after doing the Tamagami fight, seeing just a random thug be able to dodge every one of Goku's attacks, it was a little bit of a weird detail, but sure, why not? After passing it back to the wolf guy, Goku kicks him and retrieves it. And as they're desperately charging Goku to get it back, Glorio descends right in front of them and uses a giant magic whip to grab them as they flee, and he just flings them into the sky, into the distance. We don't see them again, so they're dead? They're in space? I don't know. Glorio and Goku return to the hotel room and join up with Shin and Pansy, and Glorio fist bumps Pansy, commending her on her wit. This is a really nice moment, a very wholesome moment that for me was quickly undercut by the fact that Glorio is still a double agent. But seeing this really makes me think that there's more to him than a simple double cross, which is something that I'm sure a lot of us were kind of thinking going into it. But morning comes and the crew leaves for warp. Glorio says that they will reach their destination within the day. We then switch to Vegeta's crew, and Bulma is currently freaking out over the fact that their plane had been stolen. And this was just after, in the previous scene, Shin had remarked that their plane had not been stolen overnight, which is a reference to what had happened initially in the second episode of the show, where after the bar fight, their plane got stolen. And then we see a flashback of Vegeta bumping into someone in a local bar and breaking out into a bar fight, because those people then came after Vegeta. Vegeta beat everybody up, and then those people stole the plane. Ah, the symmetry. Hybis suggests requesting Pansy to pick them up, and then offers to play the zombie game to pass the time. We don't actually see anything about the zombie game in this episode, but he explains that there's a forest nearby and they must eliminate the zombies that live there. Whoever kills the most zombies wins, and if you get bit, you turn into a zombie. I'm not sure if this is going to be something that comes back later on in the show. I would not be surprised given the weird and wacky places they're going with this show. So maybe, you know, we'll bookmark that for something later on. Bulma then comments on Hybis having an eye in his belt. His belt has an eye that's moving around and tracking motion around him. Is this the third eye? Is this the optical eye? What was the name of that artifact that Goma was after? That's the first thing that came to my mind. Hybis says that it's a living creature, a creature that he found once in the mountains. That's about it. So another thing that sort of falls between the cracks of the episode. Maybe it's to be referenced in the future or become more relevant in the future, but to me, this feels like something important that Goma is after. We then switch over to Dagesu and Goma, while Dagesu is currently on a call with someone. After the call ends, he reports to Goma that the ones from Earth who were turned into kids have entered the demon realm and are after the demon Dragon Balls. Goma laughs and dismisses this quickly, as he feels it's an impossible task, because everyone in the demon world knows you can't beat a Tamagami. Dagesu then tells him they have secured the third world Dragon Ball. Goma freaks out and yells at Dagesu, commanding him to do something about it before they secure the second world ball. And this is the first time that we see Dagesu be anything other than calm and collected. It was a little unsettling to see him cower the way that he did. Maybe it's just that Dagesu is cowering under the power of Goma. Maybe Goma is just that powerful and intimidating to him. We then switch back to Vegeta's crew as Goku finally lands and the two groups meet up. Finally. Yes. Yes. After introductions, they realize not everyone can fit on the plane. So they suggest Vegeta's crew wait while Pansy tries to request a plane to be sent out to them. I got really annoyed here because we've seen the end credits of these episodes. We've seen Vegeta and Goku flying alongside the plane. We already know that Goku can fly, and since Vegeta has been training, I'm sure he's already gotten a mastery over his powers and everything. Why couldn't some of them just fly? Why couldn't Goku fly? Why couldn't Vegeta fly? Or why couldn't they come up with some other way to travel all together? Instead, they decide to split up again. So minutes after meeting up, Goku and company leave because they want to urgently go seek out the second Demon World Dragon Ball, and they leave Vegeta and company on the same place where they just met minutes ago. Come on. Really? Piccolo then comments that in hindsight, they probably should have brought Kibito since he can teleport. Bulma's reaction to this is priceless. And then suddenly, the group of dudes that Vegeta beat up at the bar last night reappear for some payback. Vegeta then asks them, "Did you take our plane?" The dude said, "Yes!" Vegeta powers up, eager to blow off some steam after he was pretty upset that Goku and company abandoned them. And then he solos the whole group hit by hit. It was a nice, very short sequence. I was hoping for more Vegeta action, but considering we've kind of already done this whole gimmick of fighting the people at the bar, they're mad at us, we beat them up, I guess they just had to cut it short. The Vegeta fight didn't last very long, and as it was coming to an end, Piccolo swooped in and knocked out their big guy, their enforcer. And as this BoJack Horseman looking dude was getting ready to box Piccolo, Vegeta then knocked him out, and then the fight was over. After that, we switch over to Arinsu, who is with Marba as they're finishing up their concoction. Marba then takes a seed out of a container, which we then learn is a Cybermen seed. What? So how the hell did Nappa, or better yet, Frieza, get a hold of these Cybermen seeds? Is this a universal thing? Is this a Majin world-based creation? Wait. I was just thinking to myself, how? I'm so confused. She then has Arinsu place the seed 5 centimeters into this new solidified solution that seems more like soil at this point. And after placing the seed in the soil, she pours some water on top of it and something starts to sprout out. It is the new creation. As the creation is forming, Marba then remarks that they use a Cybermen as the base, as well as a combination of various monsters, finally then adding the essence of Majin Buu on top to create this new monster. And out comes Majin Cou, the newest villain in Dragon Ball Daima, who to me looks like the DNA digivolution of Kid Buu, Cybermen, and Monaka. Y'all see that, right? There's definitely Kid Buu right there. You see the Cybermen right there. And those dinky looking eyes, that's straight up Monaka. I'm not saying Monaka's from the demon world, but you can't help but make comparisons. Orinsu then commands Majin Cou to go defeat Tamagami 1 and retrieve the Dragon Ball. Marba's pretty shocked by this. I'm not. And Orinsu then says, if Majin Cou is strong, we need him to be as strong as Tamagami 1. So then the camera zooms into Majin Cou, who then smiles and says, understood. Which took me by surprise. So clearly, he has the cognitive awareness that's a little bit more focused than a Kid Buu. He's not just screaming and going crazy. He can actually speak. And that's where the episode ends. So I'm just going to be honest here. I did not find myself enjoying this episode nearly as much as I have the other ones. In spite of the criticism that the series has endured over the episodes, I have always sort of maintained a level of enjoyment given the fantastical, wondrous adventure that is Daima. But this one sort of rubbed me the wrong way for pretty much all the reasons that I was mentioning in the video. These little things that just kept nagging at me. I don't know if I'm the only one, so feel free to let me know what you guys think. I don't think I'm being, I don't think I'm being destructive when I say this. This is just simply how I feel. But the Majin Cou revelation didn't quite grab me as much as maybe others might have felt. Mainly just because of this habit that Dragon Ball seems to have where villains come back in different ways. We got Frieza in Z, we got Golden Frieza in Super. We have Cell in Z, we have Cell Max in Super. We have Majin Buu in Z, and we basically have Majin Buu in Daima. I mean, I knew that Buu was probably going to have some sort of a presence in this, but seeing Majin Cou look the way that he does after everything that I went through in the episode just kind of fell flat for me. On top of that, the simple fact that Vegeta and Goku have been spending 8 episodes trying to join up, only to then split up minutes later, really just threw me off. Besides that though, in terms of the action, once again, I enjoyed it. I still think that, the world is a very fun place to just enjoy. If you throw away the fact that Z and Super consists of characters who have planet destroying powers with cosmic level stakes, this being a very small self-contained adventure did bring with it some enjoyment. So once again, the thieves being stopped, it was funny. The reaction of Pansy learning that Goku doesn't have a change of clothes, he's very unhygienic. Those little beats I find myself enjoying. But since we sort of already established that well into the series, I wanted more. And these little moments that irked me, as I said, sort of served as a disservice and kind of rolled me back a little bit. So I'm going to give this episode overall a C-. This is probably my lowest rating in the series so far. I'm sure you guys will feel differently, so feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I still enjoy Daima. I don't think that's going to change, but I feel very comfortable in being critical of this episode. This episode to me wasn't it. Maybe once we start to see Goku and Vegeta actually together and they fight some villains, my feelings will change. But at this point, I feel like I need that second wind. I'm hoping that second wind will arrive soon. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Looking forward to the next episode, episode number 10, which should be dropping next week. I will do another video for that, so make sure you guys stay tuned and always remember to Daima responsibly.